much of District 3 is seriously lacking in basic needs of daily life: laundromats, groceries, pharmacies, coffee shops. What will you do to bring neighborhood service retail to District 3 to improve the quality of life, the day-to-day quality of life of the entire district, not just
as I mentioned in my introductory remarks, bringing change to West Oakland that was so depressed when I moved there 27 years ago has been a real art, and we wanted to make sure that we did things that would not push people out, but that would also bring everybody up. We have had success and failure on the grocery store side. When we changed Acorn housing into 3 separate areas, one of which was a first-time homebuyer area, we were able to get a grocery store at the Jacqueline and Gateway Shopping Center close by. The fellow who opened that grocery store wanted to move back to Los Angeles with his family, sold it to somebody who made some very bad business decisions, and he absolutely vanished from one day to the next. And so we don't have that grocery store now, and we're busy looking for another entity. Actually talking to both Trader Joe's and Safeway today to try to see if they would be interested in West Oakland. They still do not see that we have enough disposable income, although we're starting to have more market rate housing. Trader Joe's says not for 2 more years. Safeway is interested in putting the store in Jack London, but not in West Oakland. So the reason why we constantly have that, are faced with that from the major retailers, we have to start growing our own. And I have helped to fund a co-op that's still in the works, a worker-owned co-op grocery store that should be in the 7th Street complex where the Nadel Gateway housing is. It's just the beginning, just like the bank was, but if we don't invest in ourselves and nobody else is going to come, then we definitely won't have anything. So that's our beginning. I will continue to try to bring a store to the area. We're still talking to Fresh and Easy about another site. There was some complexities with the site at Jacqueline Gateway. We'll see if we can find them another location. But it is not been easy. The retailers look for disposable income within a half-mile radius of where they want to locate, and they expect us to go to where they put the store, not the other way around.
I live in the West Oakland part of the district, and I eat every day. And I don't think of my food budget as disposable income. I think of it as like the necessities of life. And I feel like it's almost like I'm having a conversation about like long-term fasting, because there's been no store, period. And we had a store for a few months at Gateway, it hasn't lasted, and I don't quite understand it, frankly. Because I'll talk to my neighbors, and I know, for instance, when there was a liquor store that was damaged because somebody ran into a fire hydrant, the water came over on the store, and it destroyed the store. In the process of rebuilding, we went to that store owner and said, look, you got to have fresh vegetables and fruit in here, or we're going to fight you in terms of reopening the store, and they did. So part of what happens in West Oakland, I think, and it happens all over the city, is that we act like in low-income working class communities that people don't eat. Consumer Reports did a report a few years ago about the stereotypes that food retailers have about putting grocery stores in low-income communities, and it's a myth that there's more shoplifting. It's a myth that people don't spend money. I see people in West Oakland having to go to Henryville to shop at Pack and Save. They go, and not a lot of people in West Oakland in terms of more working class part of the neighborhood go to Whole Foods. People joke about it. They say whole check, as if you have to spend your whole paycheck to buy food here, right? So part of the issue has a lot to do with the crime. We got to make sure that the retailers feel safe in our community when they come, that we're going to incentivize them in some sort of way, and that they're going to actually make a decent profit. So I think part of it has to do with being able to work the deal. To take this long to have a sustainable grocery store in a community with this many families, with this many children who buy food every day is, in some ways, not understandable. The last thing I'll say about this before the bell rings is that one of the other business ideas we need to have is the incubation of green business. At the train station, the old 16-foot train station, there's an effort that's going on, and the ownership is part of that effort. I'm part of it. Others are basically trying to bring a green incubator to that site to anchor some of this new business and new retail in the deepest part of the district.
Food, glorious food. That is the problem that every West Oaklander faces. I'm a West Oakland resident. And there's a lot of things that have been talked about, which, I echo. The fact that we let Fresh and Easy get away from us for 39 cents an hour is abominable to me. We're talking about life and death issues when we talk about food. You can go on my website and find the most detailed food security platform you'll find of anybody running for office in the city of Oakland. Because food is so important, because nourishment of our young people is so important in starting off life in the right way, and food security issues, not being able to access food, impacts young people for the rest of their lives. If you look to the report from the Alameda County Department of Public Health, you'll see that people in the flatlands, and this includes people around here, but people in the flatlands, because of the toxicity of the pork, but also because of access to healthy food, live less than the people that live in the hills by about an average of 8 to 10 years. And this is one of the reasons. We need as a city to really focus on, as I said before, the results. The results matter. How that people can't have access to fresh and healthy food is just abominable. That we let Fresh and Easy get away, that we did not find a way. The city sets the rules for redevelopment in this town. Yes, there is California law, but the city gets to implement it. And the fact that we allowed the Fresh and Easy market to go without getting involved in some way and without finding a way for that property to happen is really awful. But in addition to that, we were just talking about Nadel Foods. Well, we've heard before that it's opening in April. Well, April's cast is not open. If you look to it down, just drive right on up, and you look at the window, and it's a complete shell. That development is not. We've spent $300,000 of your tax dollars over the last several years to get this open, and it is not. This is where you need council members concerned about implementation and results, and demand accountability from the nonprofits and the community groups and cooperatives that we give money to say, where is this food? Because there's life and death issues. And then you have the 99-cent store, which is a pragmatic way to get food to people who are living under the poverty line in this community. And yet we responded to this property by restricting to 50 feet the amount of fresh produce that they're able to sell. Go into that store, pass by it, as you see the empty Nadel store, you will find a full 99-cent store, full of people in that community who are happy about that.